Beneath the surface of your reflection, where the mirror no longer knows your name, there lives a deeper truth, the raw essence that remains when the masks are burned away. You stand at the threshold of your own becoming, torn between the shadow of the persona you wear and the silent voice of your true self. And yet, every time you surrender to the comfort of pretending, you surrender to the prison of your own illusions. For the soul cannot breathe where lies dwell, and the spirit withers beneath the weight of counterfeit smiles. Close your eyes now, and enter the realm where no one can see you, not even the ghosts of your past. Feel the silence gather around you like a cloak, and let it fall over your shoulders. Here in this darkness, the light of truth waits. It waits for you to remember who you were before the world taught you to hide. It waits for you to peel away the layers of expectation, the obligations, the guilt that others have pressed upon your heart. It waits for the moment when your spirit dares to speak. Listen, there is a voice in the wilderness of your unconscious, a voice that has never been silenced by the judgments of others. It is the voice of the archetype, the voice of the eternal image that lives within every soul. This voice calls you by a name you have not yet fully claimed, your true name. It is not the name your parents gave you, or the one the world expects. It is the name written in the language of your dreams, the name that carries the power of all that you are and all that you are becoming. It is the name that can free you from the chains of pretense. Do you feel it? The shadow moves within you, whispering secrets you've long feared to hear. The shadow is not your enemy. It is the reflection of the parts you deny, the desires, the fears, the memories you locked away. It is the neglected child of your own soul, yearning for your embrace. Only when you walk into the darkness willingly will the shadow reveal its soul, gifts, strength, creativity, authenticity. For in the shadow lies the key to wholeness, the treasure hidden in the depths of your being. Breathe deeply. Let the darkness surround you like a baptism in the night. Let it teach you that you are not merely the light you show the world, but the union of light and darkness, the dance of opposites. The ego resists this truth, for it clings to certainty, to the comfort of a single identity. But the self, the vastness within you that transcends the ego, knows that true freedom is found in the integration of all that you are. The self whispers, accept who you are, or be a slave to who you pretend to be. This is the call to individuation, the process of becoming whole. It is the path walked by the prophets and the poets, the dreamers and the seekers. It is the road that leads to the sacred center, where the divine spark and the human heart merge in a single flame. Along this path, you will meet the archetypes that shape your destiny, the warrior who dares, the healer who forgives, the sage who understands, the lover who unites. Each carries a lesson, a challenge, a gift waiting to be claimed. But beware the temptation to wear their masks without embracing their essence, for the archetypes are not costumes to be worn. They are rivers to be crossed, fires to be endured, mountains to be climbed. Each asks you to die to the false self, to let go of the illusions that keep you small. Only in the surrender of what you pretend to be can you awaken to the majesty of what you are. Now, as the night deepens and the stars gather their light, I ask you, are you willing to meet yourself in the mirror of your own soul? Are you willing to face the truth that waits in the darkness, to claim the name written in your bones? Accept who you are, or be a slave to who you pretend to be. Feel the pulse of your being, the quiet drumbeat that guides your steps on this ancient road. It is older than your name, older than the walls you've built around your heart. It is the sound of the soul, echoing with the wisdom of those who came before you, the prophets who wept in the wilderness, the psalmists who sang songs of the heart, the seekers who carved their prayers into the walls of their own shadows. In this place, every word is a seed, every breath a prayer. And the question that rises like dawn within you is this: will you dare to plant these seeds in the soil of your own truth? There is a wilderness in you that cannot be tamed. It is the place where your spirit runs wild and free, where no one's expectations can chain you, but most live their lives like prisoners in their own minds, shackled to the shoulds and musts and have-tos that others have whispered since childhood. These chains are forged in the fires of conformity, in the relentless pursuit of approval. Yet deep within, there is a place where your true nature breathes, where the breath of the spirit moves like wind through ancient trees, where the psalms of your own soul rise like incense to the heavens. Listen now to that still small voice. It does not shout, it does not command. It is the voice that spoke to Elijah in the cave, not in the earthquake or the fire, but in the gentle whisper that no one else could hear. It is the voice that says, be still and know that I am within you. Be still and let the fears fall away. Be still and remember that you were born to be more than the roles you've been given, more than the masks you wear to survive. Be still and let the ancient truth awaken. You are both darkness and light, both brokenness and wholeness, both dust and divinity. There is a fire that burns in the darkness of your unconscious, a holy fire that purifies as it consumes. It is the fire that Moses saw in the bush that burned but was not consumed, the flame that calls you by name, the flame that says, take off your shoes, for the ground upon which you stand is holy. This is the fire that reveals your true face, the face you had before the world taught you to hide, It is the fire that demands the sacrifice of pretense, the offering of falsehood. For only by casting these illusions into the flames can the gold of the self be revealed. Walk now through the valley of your own shadow and do not fear the darkness you find there. For even though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you shall fear no evil, for you are not alone. The shepherd of your soul walks beside you, guiding you through the labyrinth of your own fears, through the deserts of your own doubts. He carries the rod and the staff of mercy and justice, the strength to break the chains of the past. With every step, you come closer to the truth that waits in the depths, that the darkness you fear is the doorway to your own becoming. Embrace the paradox of your own soul, that within you lies both the serpent and the dove, both the wound and the healer, both the question and the answer. The wisdom of the Psalms whispers, "Deep calls unto deep at the noise of thy waterspouts. All thy waves and thy billows are gone over me." This is the song of transformation, the music that plays when the soul is ready to be reborn. Let these waves wash over you. Let them strip away the old skin. Let them cleanse the wounds that have festered in silence. For only in surrendering to the tides of your own becoming can you rise with the dawn. Accept who you are or be a slave to who you pretend to be. This is the choice that stands before you, as ancient as the garden, as present as your own heartbeat. To accept yourself is to accept the mystery that you are, to honor both the darkness and the light, to hold both the sorrow and the joy. It is to stand naked before the mirror of your soul and say, "This is me, and I am enough." To pretend is to live in exile from your own heart, to wander forever in a desert of illusions. But to accept is to come home to yourself, to the temple that was built for your own soul. Feel the ancient winds that move through the corridors of your mind, carrying with them the prayers of countless generations, prayers whispered in the dark nights of the soul, prayers carved into the stone of the human heart. These winds do not lie. They do not flatter the ego. They speak only the truth that was written in the beginning. You were born to become who you are, not who others expect, not the roles you've been assigned, but the living flame of your own spirit, the image of God within you, waiting to be revealed. In this silence, beneath the noise of the world, the unconscious breathes. It is the hidden ocean beneath the surface of your waking thoughts, where the currents of archetype and instinct flow in ancient rhythms. Here live the stories that shape your life, the patterns that repeat until you dare to see them, the father you loved and feared, the mother you adored and resented, the wounds of childhood that became the masks of adulthood. These are not chains to bind you, but keys to your freedom, for only by bringing them into the light can you transform their power. The path to individuation is the path of integration, the path of wholeness. It is not a path of perfection, but of acceptance, accepting the darkness you carry, the wounds that taught you to hide, the shadows that taught you to pretend. It is the path of gathering all the scattered pieces of your being, the forgotten dreams, the rejected fears, the abandoned desires, and bringing them together in the fire of the self. For in this fire, nothing is wasted, all is transformed. You are the vessel that holds both the water and the fire, both the clay and the gold. The Proverbs teach, "The crucible is for silver and the furnace is for gold, but the Lord tests the heart." The testing is not to destroy you, but to reveal you, to burn away the dross of falsehood, the slag of pretense, the rust of compromise. What remains is the gold of the self, the treasure hidden in the field of your own being. But you must be willing to enter the furnace, to face the heat that refines. Do not fear the pain that arises in this process. Pain is the language of transformation, the voice of the soul calling for healing. When you deny your pain, you deny the invitation to become whole. Like Jacob wrestling with the angel in the night, you must embrace the struggle and refuse to let go until the blessing is given. And the blessing is always the same: a new name, a new identity, a new relationship with yourself and the world. Let the tears you have feared to shed become the river that carries you home. Let them wash away the dust of old beliefs, the scars of old wounds, the lies you've told yourself to survive. For only in the cleansing of your own tears can you see the reflection of your true face, the face that was hidden beneath the masks, the face that the divine has known since the beginning. And in that face you will see the image of God, the likeness of the one who breathed life into you and called you good. Accept who you are, or be a slave to who you pretend to be. This is the covenant written on your heart, the contract between your soul and your destiny. Every time you choose pretense, you strengthen the chains that bind you. Every time you choose truth, you take one step closer to freedom. The Psalms remind us, "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit." Do not fear the breaking, for in the breaking the light enters. Do not fear the crushing, for in the crushing the oil of anointing is released. The path is narrow, the gate is small, and few find it. But those who do discover a kingdom within, a kingdom that cannot be shaken. It is the kingdom of the self, the kingdom of wholeness, the kingdom where every tear is wiped away and every wound is healed. This is the kingdom you were born to inherit, the kingdom that awaits your acceptance. But you cannot enter it wearing the mask of pretense. You cannot cannot enter it carrying the chains of who you think you should be. Let the fire of truth burn away the lies. Let the wind of the Spirit carry away the ashes. Let the waters of your own soul wash you clean, and then stand, naked and unashamed, in the temple of your own heart. There, in the Holy of Holies, the voice of the self will speak. Accept who you are and be free.